Whenever you see the warning battery charging fault, it means that the control modules in your Renault have registered lower or higher voltage on the battery terminals, and now most likely the vehicle is taking power from the battery and not from the alternator, which will result in very quick battery death, probably within 1 hour of driving. But it doesn't happen always, and the warning may say about some minor voltage anomalies in the system. Anyway, first of all, you need to verify that the alternator belt is in place and rotating the alternator when the engine is running. Secondly, when the engine is off, have a very careful look at the main ground connection that you can track down from the negative terminal of the battery. The corroded or loose connection will cause voltage fluctuations in the system. After that, it would be nice to see if the connections on the alternator are okay and not loose. In Renault cars, it's quite hard to check the charging system with the multimeter, since there is a special control unit that limits the voltage on the battery when needed. But anyway, if right after starting the engine the voltage on the battery is lower than 13 volts, there is obviously a problem either with the alternator or with the UPC module that controls charging and connects your battery with the alternator. Anyway, before you go and have the car inspected with a good car electrician, you may also want to check the battery with the load tester. I know about a lot of cases when an absolutely dead battery triggered this battery charging fault warning just because it refused to take the charge properly. If the battery is dead, replacing it or at least charging it with an external charger is your first important step. Now, when it comes to more complicated repairs, they should always be considered only after all the simple potential culprits described in this video have been checked. I would say that electrical connections and wires are the #1 serious culprit. Then the second place goes to the UPC module that may have issues with the internal circuit boards or connections. And then the third place goes to the failing alternators. I wouldn't say the faulty alternators are very common for Renault vehicles. The alternators are very tough and can last long. So this is probably the last resort after you've tried everything else. Also, if you decide to eventually replace the alternator, make sure you get a decent OEM part, since aftermarket alternatives very often prove to be faulty from the very first day and can't take the battery charging fault warning off the dash in a lot of cases.